Every day we are reminded more and more of the fact that space is a mystery that may never be completely solved. It has truly earned its name as the final frontier, as the more we learn about it, the more mysteries arise and the more questions demand an answer. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be diving into 3 interesting space discoveries and what they showed us or didn't about the vast expanse stretching infinitely beyond us. NASA's eerie sounds of Saturn. One of our greatest sources of information about the planet Saturn and its famous rings comes not from crystal clear telescope images or fascinating satellite observations, but rather sound recordings of radio waves which emit from the planet in incredibly large numbers. NASA's Cassini spacecraft has been recording these emissions using the Cassini radio and plasma wave science instrument since April of 2002, creating almost 2 decades worth of recordings to study the exterior of the planet across the years and providing the first high-resolution observations of these emissions. When these radio waves were recorded and lowered into a register that was able to be heard, they created an eerie set of sounds representing the giant swirling gaseous surface. The sounds of Saturn are hair-raising and chilling, instantly striking those who listen to the strange frequencies as otherworldly. The incredible amount of variety between rising and falling tones and frequencies instantly struck researchers as important, and NASA has said that the complex radio spectrum with rising and falling tones is very similar to Earth's auroral radio emissions. These structures indicate that there are numerous small radio sources moving along magnetic field lines, threading the auroral region. Interestingly, the radio emissions appear to be closely related to the auroras near the poles of the planet, not altogether unlike our own planet's famed northern and southern lights. Recording radio emissions from bodies in our solar system and beyond has been a huge source of knowledge for researchers about the cosmos that surrounds us. Typically, radio waves are emitted by hot parts of objects, and these bodies each have their own unique radio signatures. The study of these signatures, also known as radio personalities, can help scientists better understand what these objects are made of, how they are formed, and how gases and other non-solid matter moves around the planet. An especially useful tool for peering closer at the aspects of worlds that we cannot physically see, studying the unique radio emissions of Saturn can provide inside information regarding what exactly is happening on the surface of our unique distant neighbour. Because the planet is composed of gas and the surface is not solid, landing a rover or penetrating the atmosphere with a spacecraft in order to get a closer look would be almost impossible with the available technology. So scientists have to rely on readings, such as the ones recorded by the Cassini spacecraft, located 274 million kilometers away, to paint a picture of what is going on within those mysterious icy rings. Although the sounds emanating from Saturn turned out to be rather eerie, they certainly appear to hold many secrets within their midst. So for now, Cassini will continue as it has since 2002 and monitor the peculiar sounds of Saturn that have fascinated and entranced scientists and amateurs alike since their discovery 20 years ago. Hubble spots farthest star ever seen. The universe is constantly expanding at an infinite rate, so even if we were able to fully understand every aspect of the mysterious and otherworldly cosmos in our immediate vicinity, we would be able to expand our discoveries ever outward with no end. Currently, we are only able to see as far as our best technology will allow us, and that alone has presented more than enough mysteries to busy astronomers for the next several decades. Yet recently progress was made in the progressive march onwards and outwards as the famous Hubble Space Telescope spotted the farthest star ever yet seen. This record-setting spot of distant light was also the earliest star ever seen, having shone almost 13 billion years ago, only 900 million years after the universe was conceived in the Big Bang. Despite our best efforts, individual stars such as this one are often impossible to make out at such a distance due to their small size when compared to the vastness of space and the overpowering brightness of surrounding galaxies. The Hubble Space Telescope team was able to apply Einstein's theory of general relativity, which helps to explain the way that gravity bends light passing through space, in order to use an intervening galaxy cluster as a magnifying lens of sorts to amplify the much smaller star in the distance. Brian Welch, a graduate student at Johns Hopkins University and the author of a paper describing the study, told the New York Times that it was an unexpected surprise to find something so small. As the Hubble Space Telescope team has been surveying 41 galaxy clusters, Welch conceded that when you look at a bunch of really massive galaxy clusters, there's a good chance that you can find some really highly magnified objects behind them. Using a galaxy as a magnifying glass is not as easy as it sounds though, as the light is stretched in an arc, with ripples and bright spots that distort the objects coming through. Astronomers attempting to use this method must try to line up the distorted ripples with points of light according to the frequency of their wavelengths to make sense of what lies behind the galaxies. The discovery of a single star during this chaos is rendered even more amazing. The new star, which was nicknamed Earendel, appears as though it will be aligned to be magnified by the galaxy cluster for the next several years at least, giving astronomers plenty of time to study the components of the oldest and farthest star yet discovered. During this time, researchers hope to be able to use the brand new James Webb Space Telescope, which was designed to gather light at longer infrared wavelengths, to measure the brightness of the star across a spectrum of wavelengths to determine the temperature of the new star. This will allow researchers to definitively say that the star is indeed a star and not another faintly glowing object far in the distance. This information could tell us a great deal about what stars looked like in the early days of the universe, a time period that we know very little about. Kepler 62e has a very hospitable climate for life. Along with the attempt to peer ever further into the universe surrounding us comes the search for extraterrestrial life and the pursuit of the answer to the question, are we alone in the universe? Although many people hope for the discovery of the types of advanced alien civilization that feature prominently in science fiction novels, astronomers are often searching for more microscopic signs of life. Although extraterrestrial life has not yet been discovered, there have been several examples of locations that appear extremely hospitable for life, and Kepler 62e is among this number. An exoplanet orbiting approximately 1,200 light-years from Earth, Kepler 62e is a water world that appears to be a similar size to Earth and orbits in what is known as the habitable region of its star, making it an excellent candidate for conditions favourable for life. In fact, the planet has such marked similarities to Earth that it is known as a super-Earth due to its striking parallels with our own planet, just in a larger body. Even better was the discovery of a second super-Earth within the same system, Kepler 62f, although this second candidate lies much farther from the Sun, making the surface much colder and less likely to be hospitable for life. Researchers who conducted a modelling study to predict the conditions of the two planets hypothesized that both planets are likely covered almost entirely in water, which is a huge plus for those interested in studying the potential for life there. Kepler 62e is thought to be damp, warm and humid across its entire surface, including the areas surrounding the poles, while Kepler 62f is likely much colder but still a potential candidate for life forms. Although having a host planet entirely covered in water might make things difficult for humans attempting to create civilization on the planet, researchers do not think that this would have been a deterrent for life originating on Kepler 62e. Kepler's science principal investigator, Bill Borucki, with NASA's Ames Research Center, was speculative about the possibilities on the planet, saying, "At least in our ocean, we have flying fish. They fly to get away from predators, so we might find that they have evolved birds on this ocean planet. Look at our own ocean, it's just full of life. We think, in fact, life on Earth might have begun there." Although the matter of whether life does in fact exist on either of these planets is still purely speculation, some think that the lure of finding a so-called Earth 2.0 could be so great that it could drive massive space travel advances to fuel the search. Locating potential planets such as Kepler-62e and Kepler-62f serves only to enhance this drive and fuel the push for greater technological advances so that we may better study the unique worlds around us. But what do you make of these discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.